What's up everyone, Kaze no What If is here with What If Luffy had the mimic know me. Before we start, if you like the video, like it, share with your friends, comment, and let's start the video. There are two reasons I made this a chapter rather than adding a short wrap up to the last chapter. First, have you seen the size of the Going Merry? It barely had any room at all. Is no wonder they kept running out of food with no storage space, adding a bigger crew, yikes. Two of Christopher Columbus's ships were actually caravels and were anywhere from 40 to 70 long. The other ship was great for a small crew but not for a bigger one. Plus I like the new ship. Secondly, in my opinion, it is one thing to say you have future plans for a story, and quite another to show it. There are some big hints to possible future plot twists down the line as to my future plans for much later. Can you guess some? Thank all of you who leave comments. I try to read them before posting. Name for life, yes and no. In my tale you will find out why there are struggles in the next chapter. Don't want to give too much away. Asterisk time skip asterisk. After checking on Merry, we find that he will need to stay in bed for a few days so as not to open his stitches. Luckily Kuro wanted him bleeding out, so he didn't cut vital organs, just veins, arteries, and flesh. Without the help of Usopp's crew he would have died. Merry thanked us before the doctor gave him a sedative and told us he will be by in the morning to clean the wounds and check on him. The doctor also bandaged Zoro's wounds for free and said he would check on him also. Patting Usopp on the shoulder, smiling at him, the doctor left. Looking at all of us, Kaya speaks up, "Can all of you stay here please? With all of the servants away I don't feel safe and I have rooms. And I will talk to the innkeeper tomorrow to get your money back. It's the least I can do." Looking hopeful. Nami looked down, "Thanks," in a bland voice. Zoro's response was comical. "I still want to sleep outside. Plus it would give a lookout, so to speak." Kaya turning to Usopp. "Usopp, can you stay in my room? I would feel better if you were close please." Usopp sweating now. "Yeah sure." Kaya leading the way for the others. "Thank you. I would feel so much better with all of you here." The master bedrooms have a shower, a small living area, and a double bed. Here is the first one, Luffy. I will show Nami to hers. As they leave I start taking off clothes for a shower. Once a few feet down the hallway Kaya spins to me. "Okay Spill, why are you so down? And don't say you're not. Ever since I offered to house all of you, you have gotten more depressed. Even when offering to reimburse you all. I saw how you looked at those bags from their ship like a hawk, so if money didn't change you, something's up. So Spill." Smirking at me. "Fine, I paid extra to have the innkeeper tell Luffy that he only had one room with a double bed. Since Zoro was sleeping outside I wanted to be in a room with him." Kaya getting excited. "Okay, why?" Seeing Nami hesitate. "Oh come on. Look, you are the first girl I have talked with in years. Yes, Usopp has been a godsend, but I want girl talk. Please." With a pouting face. "Okay, I never open up, but Luffy has saved my life at least twice more without me knowing. You know he doesn't like credit. Well, something happened 2 days ago that made some really bad memories resurface in the worst way. We slept in shifts, Luffy, Zoro, then me. And I had nightmares, and bad ones where you wake up screaming but I couldn't wake up. Then everything calmed down and I slept better than I have in months. When Zoro woke me for my shift, I found myself clinging to Luffy. Zoro told me I woke him 3 times that night, which is quite a feat. Then after Luffy went to sleep, I bumped him, clutching his arm and dragging myself over to him, staying in the same position till he woke me. The rest of the shift my eyes kept drifting over to Luffy again. I wanted more, but I was just too scared to ask since I don't get close to people and in my line of work as a thief. Then in a whisper, "It's not safe." Tapping her chin, Kaya responds, "Okay, I think I can help. Maybe you two can snuggle, but you have to trust me, okay? First you will need a nightgown." He he he. Asterisk time skip asterisk. Watching Kaya knock on Luffy's door. I see Luffy open the door. Wrapped in a towel around his waist, still wet, with him answering, "Can I help you?" Wow, just wow. Okay, head out of the gutter, girl. Oh, stop it. Head in the game or you'll blow it. Clearing her throat, Kaya answers, "Yeah, there has been a slight inconvenience. All of the other rooms are being used for storage. Sorry, I didn't know. So I was thinking you could share this one, after all you are both adults. Also, I brought you some clothes to sleep in. Nami, go take a shower please, I want to talk with Luffy." Nodding to her, I entered the bathroom and shut the door, placing my ear against it. Hearing Kaya tell Luffy, "Okay, from what Nami told me, your gut is probably jumping everywhere right now. So I ask you not as a host, but as a woman. Please focus on what Nami needs the most and listen to your gut." Then I hear the door to the hall close. Quickly disrobing, I take a shower and dress in the short sleeve gown that goes all the way to my knees. I step out of the bathroom and find Luffy sitting on the bed in flannel pajama tops and bottoms. Luffy smiles at me. My gut tells me to just relax and be here for you. I just don't want to mess up. I like being near you and don't want to mess up and get you mad. Fidgeting with his hands. Well, that makes two. To be honest, I feel safer with you than I ever have in my life. The last time I slept, I got more rest than I had in months. I wanted it again. I was just scared to ask. Luffy, relaxing now, said, "I will always treat you like a lady. However, there is nothing wrong with a lady and gentleman sleeping in the same bed. Or snuggling." The last sentence is almost a whisper. Smiling back at him, I moved around to the other side of the bed. "I heard that. And thank you." As we both get under covers with the curtains drawn. I give him a pleading look. Smiling, he stretched his arm out so I could use his shoulder as a pillow. And his chest. I am in heaven, I think, as I drift off to sleep. Asterisk time skip asterisk. As I wake up the next morning, Nami is still laying against me. This time her left leg is now bent high, draping it over me just below my. Oh boy. As I feel her start to stretch. Sliding her leg around. Just then she grazes something. She tenses, then her eyes shoot open. Slowly her leg slides back down till it is resting beside me. "It's okay. Did you sleep well?" With a smile on her face and hugging me tighter. "Forget months, that was the best sleep I have had in years. I am glad it helped. I also enjoyed sleeping with you." Feeling my face get hot. "Guess we need to get ready for breakfast." Seeing her frown. "Hey, the best part is I get to eat it with you." Watching her smile as she gets up and heads to the bathroom to change her clothes. Why is she walking like that? Not that I am complaining or anything, just wow. As we enter the kitchen we see Usopp and Kaya sitting at the kitchen table drinking with a banquet of all kinds of breakfast foods in front of them. Kaya smiles at us. "Morning, did you two sleep well?" Winking at Nami. "I think I can say for both of us that we did, thank you." "Luffy, can I ask when you are planning on leaving?" Kaya asked. "Today or tomorrow?" "Why do you ask?" Looking over at Usopp, Kaya smiles. "Well, you inquired about a ship and I decided to give you the Going Merry. My father and Mary designed it shortly after my mom and dad got married. It is a marvelous piece of engineering, however Mary really wanted to show it off to you and the doctor said it would take 2 days before he would let him out of bed." Looking worldly at Usopp. Then back at Luffy. "I also wanted to spend some time with Usopp since I will not see him for a long time. 2 days won't hurt. I don't feel like it will on one condition." Watching her face turn to worry. "Usopp becomes my sniper." Squinting at Usopp. "No, we are not calling ourselves the Usopp Pirates. But if you come you can keep the Mary safe." Smiling at him. Usopp's face lit up like a Christmas tree, he looked at Kaya smiling. "Deal." Time skip asterisk. I watched Luffy and the others walking down the hill, with Kaya holding Usopp's hand while everyone carries their bags. I can tell Luffy is a good man even if I didn't know all I do, because he is carrying Usopp's stuff to allow him one final moment with Kaya. Welcome to the Going Merry. My idea at first was a lean toward a 2-mast carvel. However, to incorporate all the things Kaya's parents Cianya and Martin wanted, it had to be expanded. Luckily Martin was an engineer wise tinkering in his youth. On their second trip to sea was after getting married. Cianya told him if he didn't build her a ship that made her comfortable she wouldn't come with him on his business dealing. As a result, this ship was designed to make Cianya happy, so voila. Pointing at the ship. A 3-mast square sail carvel 90 feet long by 25 feet wide with approximately 150 ton or 300,000 pounds cargo capacity. Mary won't make it through the New World, but it should get you through paradise. As we walk onto the lower deck I turn to Luffy. Since you are the captain and most of the things about the ship are for a woman's comfort, would you two mind if in the small rooms the others waited outside and then entered after to examine the tight places? Seeing everyone nod. Also, so it doesn't get confusing, I will use nautical terms for the orientation of the ship. If you are facing the front of the boat, the bow is the front. The starboard is on the right side. The port is on the left side. And the stern is the rear. Watching them nod. This we just came on is the lower deck. It is a 25 feet by 25 feet area with 2 sets of stairs going up to each of the upper decks. There is a 6 feet by 6 feet cargo hatch just off the port side of the mast, leading down all the way to the hold. You have 4 levels, the hold, living quarters, lower deck, and the 2 upper decks. As we walked up the steps on the starboard side going to the back, we stepped onto the upper rear deck and I pointed to the bow. The front deck is 35 feet long by 25 feet wide at rear and a figurehead of a sheep at the bow. It has a small mobile cannon that is currently strapped down to keep it from moving when not in use. Usopp outraged, only 1 cannon. We're doomed. Ha 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 ha. One would think that, yes. Exactly what Martin wanted, a non-threatening ship that actually has 4 very powerful hidden gun ports. He never went looking for a fight, but he was always ready for one. Something he learned from his wife. Smiling at Kaya. The rear deck is the biggest deck, 32 feet long and 25 feet wide, with the rear mast and one of the helms near the front of the deck in the center. Gesturing to the steering wheel 4 feet from the front rail in the middle of the ship, with a 5 feet wide boxed-in railing around it, open in the back with a small wooden seat mounted to the floor. Raising her hand, Nami asked, "Did you say one of the helms?" Looking confused. Ha 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 ha. Yes, typically there is only one. Martin liked to feel the wind, however Sianya told him, and I quote. Hearing Nami and Kaya bust out laughing. Now let's go back down and I will show you the armory. Walking back down the stairs, we come to the lower deck. Walking across the lower deck to the dory in the center of the front wall of the lower deck. Stepping through the door, we see 3 6 feet long cannons that the gun barrel 8 inches wide. One on each side of the ship, one pointing forward, and the mast in the middle. Walking over to a lever, I pull it, causing all of the 3 ports, the restraining pins, to retract simultaneously, followed by the firing ports swinging in and dropping down. All 4 guns are the same as a new version. Also, don't let their size fool you, they are a new design that shoots shells instead of a standard cannonball. Also, they pack 3 times the punch, twice the distance, double the accuracy, and 3 times faster to reload for a normal cannon their size. The best part is, to do all of this you only need 1 person. The stand they are sitting on pivots off of the gun port on this track with this crank here. The height is adjusted by this other crank here. Each cannon has a 30-degree elevation arcade and a 40-degree shooting radius, with straight side shot being in the middle of the radius. The shells are stored in these slots along the wall, holding 20 shots available for reload before needing more from the powder room in the hold. The reloads are brought up using this dumbwaiter that connects the armory and the powder room, so you don't have to carry them up through the ship. Now let's show you the less violent part of the ship. Throwing the lever the other way, placing the ports back closed like they were. We leave the armory, walking across the lower deck to the wall leading to the comms area. On the starboard side is the 4 feet wide stairs leading to the upper deck. Beginning 2 feet away from the stairs along the whole front wall of the commons area were windows starting 4 feet off the ground going to the ceiling, until 1 foot off a 3 feet wide wooden door with a metal trim. 2 foot off the port wall. Stepping through, we see the well house similar to the one above. The difference being that there is the 6-inch metal column 6 in front going up through the roof. Also, the railing and seat are padded with a red leather cushion. 8 feet behind the wheel is a support post 1 foot round column in the center of the room. The mast is touching a wall in the back. Ahem. The controls are similar to how they are upstairs, however there is a pin that disconnects the upstairs. Sianya often didn't agree with how Martin drove, earning a round of Snickers. As you can see, the commons area is an open space of about 25 feet deep by 25 feet wide across the width of the ship. There are 2 rooms behind the commons area against the astern wall and an open study on the port side that's 10 feet deep by 8 feet wide. A roll-top desk resides in the port corner with the part you sit at towards the front of the ship. Above the desk are 2 windows 3 feet wide by 3 feet tall in the corner on the rear and port wall. Next to the desk is a half bath 4 feet wide on the astern wall and 3 feet deep. Then you have the bookshelves along the side wall of the study from the commons area to the half bath, and a small couch against the port wall. The port side has windows going down the first 8 feet starting 2 feet from the lower deck. Then it is a solid wall until the corner. There is a study wood table on the port side that can seat 10 people comfortably for dining. The center room along the rear wall is the rear armory. It contains a cannon like the front, however the gunport is a rear 3 feet by 3 feet window that retracts and moves to the side like the others in the front. It also has 20 shells available, though you will have to run them from the front armory if they run out. Along the starboard side of the ship starting at the lower deck are the stairs leading down into the living quarters. The stairs are directly under the ones leading up to the rear upper deck and actually start 4 feet into the living area, with a handrail going to the front wall so someone will not fall. There are windows on the starboard side starting 2 feet after the corner, going 3 feet tall and traveling 6 feet till the kitchen cabinets and counter begin. Señor really like to cook, so it is a kitchen complete with stove, range, and a 4 feet wide, 3 feet deep and 7 feet tall refrigerator that is next to the rear mast on the back wall. A 6 feet long by 3/4 wide island bar acts American Samoa, a divider somewhat between the kitchen and the rest of the commons area. Above the sink are 2 fresh water tanks, 1 hot water and 1 cold water. The 1 hot water is heated by gas. It has a temperature picture gauge on it. Both tanks only 20 gallons each, so you have to worry about making sure they're maintained. The plumbing is basically gravity fed. In this back room we have a pantry. Inside the pantry it is 10 foot by 10 room with 2 60-gallon tanks of fresh water in the corner, 1 hot and 1 cold. I know that sounds like a lot for a kitchen, but this isn't just for the kitchen. The reason why those tanks are so big is so they can provide hot and cold water for the shower below. What? Nami yelled. We have a shower? A real shower? With her eyes sparkling like when she thinks of treasure. Clasping her hands together. Ha 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 ha. Yes, I thought you would enjoy that. The tanks are maintained in the cargo hold. On the starboard wall is a desk and work table for preparing ingredients. On the inside next to the rear armory is all the cabinets. Now that you have familiarized yourself with the commons area, would you like to go downstairs and see the living quarters? Luffy smiling, yes please continue. There are candles in the hold and small portholes around the living quarters, however for the time being I will use the interior electrical lighting. Remember, the more you use the electrical the faster the battery drops. As we walk down the 4 feet wide staircase on the starboard side of the ship I start flipping switches. On the walls we come to a 6 feet wide hallway going across the ship. Then another hallway going up toward the front of the ship just a little off center that is about 6 feet wide going to the bow of the boat. There are 2 doors, one on each side of the hallway and then another door at the very end. There are 5 rooms down the hallway to the rear of the ship. 3 on the left and 2 on the right. All the rooms have 2 4 feet wide by 8 feet long beds mounted to the wall in a bunk bed fashion. The beds are actually a metal outside frame with a fitted net material that suspends the person like the net hammocks, with a light mattress on top for comfort. Both beds can be folded up to the wall and secured to give you more room. The lower bed is 2 feet off the ground and the second is 5 feet 6 inches. One dresser going up 6 feet besides the bed to use as an end table for the top bunk. And a roll-top desk so you can close the top and not have everything move around. The 3 rooms behind me are different. The port and starboard rooms have the same bed system, however the port side has a slightly different layout, providing room for a small standing closet. The starboard room was made for Miss Kaya and is 12 feet down the length by 10 feet wide going with. It has no desk, but it does have an 8 feet long by 2 feet deep closet down the wall towards the bow of the ship. Watching Nami's eyes sparkling again. The captain's quarters are the end door at the bow of the ship. Stepping through the door into the master bedroom. In the master bedroom here you actually have the biggest living space. In the center is the front mast, behind that a queen-size bed setting 3 feet off the ground with the headboard at the bow. A safe in the bow behind the picture of Miss Sienya. You will probably want to change the picture. Overall it is a room 20 feet deep, 8 feet at the headboard and 25 feet at the rear wall. Going down the starboard side starting at the bow you have 2 dressers, a roll-top desk, and in the corner next to Kaya's room a 4 feet wide closet. There is a full-length mirror 3 feet wide on the wall of Kaya's bedroom. Usopp scratched his head. Why do you have all this empty space on the port side? Without adding more furniture or another bed. Looking at Kaya, it is for training. Martin and Sienya were heavily into martial arts and were taught by someone who held to a code of honor and not abusing it. Watching Kaya put her hand over her mouth. They did not tell you because you hated violence, Kaya. They also hate violence, but no, sometimes there is no choice. They made this place a training room so others would not question them or think differently of them. Like the guns upstairs. They didn't look for a fight but were ready for one. There is a ring in the port corner 5 feet off of the rear and port walls to hang a punching bag. The bed has a spring system in the headboard that folds it up to the bow to give an open sparring room. Under the bed are 2 compartments for punching bags and a spot for their gear. It was very discreet, plus if anyone heard them the world would think something else other than sparring was going on in here. Watching Kaya turn red, remembering all the times she heard noises coming from in here. Moving on. Walking back out into the first hallway from the executive hallway. The pole in the corner here is the center mast for the ship. The reason this 12 feet by 20 feet space is empty except for the stairs is because we are under the port hatch on the lower deck. There is also a 6 feet by 6 feet hatch right under the other one, except this one has a hinge to let it fold up against the port wall. As we walk down the 5 feet wide hallway leading to the rear of the ship, the hallway turns to the starboard side. Martin didn't like the idea of so many people on a ship and only one bathroom near the living quarters. Along with the upper half bath there is another half bath in the center rear wall. Opening the door into the hall to see a small 6 wide by 4 deep room with the commode at the starboard end and a sink at the other. I would like to emphasize you to be careful to lock it so that someone doesn't accidentally open it on you. Had that problem happen to me personally, turning red. Getting laughs from everyone. Shutting the door and turning to the door at the end of the short hallway to the starboard. Captain and lady, if you will follow me in, I would like to show you to the master bathroom personally. Opening the door and leading them in. I get great pride watching Miss Nami placing a hand over her mouth, obviously knowing how hard it is to get a decent bathroom. The bathroom is roughly 10 feet down the rear wall and 8 feet down the starboard wall. In the corner here we have a 4 feet wide by 7 feet long metal tub going down the rear wall. It can seat 2 comfortably and has a shower curtain. We had originally planned on going with tile, but being at sea we were worried about it getting cracks, so we went with metal. You have a shower nozzle coming down from the storage tanks above. There is a blue and red bulb above the tub to indicate if one of the tanks is down to 5 gallons. I would also advise on making sure they are full and heated before getting in. Also personal experience. A commode is next to the half bath, and a sink on the starboard wall next to the tub. Watching Nami tear up, she embraces me in a big hug and runs out in the hallway. I hear Kaya scream and then the watching everyone smile. Now I will proceed to the cargo bay steps and give everyone a minute to look around before we go down. After a few minutes everyone gathered at the stairs. Hearing again Nami and Luffy yell together. Nami points her finger at Usopp. Also I get the one beside Luffy. I mean the one with the closet final. Kaya also gives Usopp a firm look that says don't get in the way of a woman and her closet. Winking at Nami. watching as Usopp raises his hands. Okay, let's head down. As we descended the stairs, we go down the stairs on the left side of the boat, right facing the back, then are on a landing with a wall that goes across the ship, continuing down the stairs to the center of the ship. Here we have the main cargo hold. It ranges from 30 feet long by 20 feet wide. In the bow of the boat is the powder room, with a reinforced metal door. Inside you will find the dumbwaiter that carries the shells directly to the armory without walking all the way through the ship. It also contains the shell casing materials. The device for making the shells is in the engineering room, so not to have an accident while manufacturing them, you will have to carry some gunpowder in there to put the finishing touches. Currently there are 200 shells currently made down here, with an additional 20 in the upper armory, and 20 with the rear cannon. Moving towards the stern of the boat, there is a hallway going just off-center. Down the starboard side you find cabinets to the left that are about 4 feet deep and traveling the length of the hallway, which is 16 long, to store smaller things. On the port side of the hallway is a door. In it is a laundry room which is 16 feet down the length of the ship and 10 feet across the ship. On the port side it has a machine for washing the clothes, but not for drying, you'll have to hang them up to dry. Also the tank that you store your fresh water with is in there. It holds up to 2,000 gallons. You don't have to keep it full all the time, but it is near the center to ship to add for ballast when you don't have a lot of cargo in the hold. There are also some 5 linen cabinets. 3 are currently for the sheets, blankets, and replacement netting for the beds. In the rear you will find the entering room. It is 8 feet deep while going all the way across the full 20 feet. There are 48 8 in wide, 12 in long, by 8 in tall rechargeable batteries. There are 4 shelves in the center of the astern wall. The lowest one is 3 feet off the ground and the other 3 are at 1 foot intervals above the lower shelf. They power the refrigerator, the interior lighting and the electrical pumping system. To the left is the table and equipment for making the shells. On the right is an exercise bike and it has multiple uses. With the switches on the wall you can change the functionality of what it does. There are gauges beside each switch to tell if that particular item is low. For example, this gauge and switch is for the upper cold main water tank. Flipping it allows you to refill the cold tank by pedaling the bike. The next gauge does the same for the hot water. This gauge says hundreds because it is the switch that refills the lower clean water tanks with water from the ocean after sending it through the filter. The most important one though is this one that keeps track of the batteries. By flipping it you recharge the batteries. With the generator, there are 2 important warning lights that turn red if the battery gets low and you only have 8 hours max, probably less, till the electrical stops. One is in the kitchen above the fridge, the other is here in the engineering, pointing to the red bulb above us. There are also 2 bilge pumps. One electric and one but the bike if water gets in. The switch for the bike is this bright red one on this yellow panel. As we all get back outside on the lower deck I clear my throat. So is this a ship worthy of the future Pirate King? Asterisk time skip asterisk. Seeing Kaya looking depressed again. You wanted to go with them, didn't you? Kaya sighs. As weak as I am right now, I know I will be a burden and a distraction for them. I also really want to study medicine to help people. Sighing and letting her shoulders drop. I am just worried that Usopp will forget about me. Or worse, we will have a relationship like his mother and father, where I will hardly ever see him and he will leave me behind because I am not strong enough to go with him like Nami. Sinking in on herself more. Would you like to know how your parents met and more about your mother before she became the lady of the house? Smiling at her. Seeing her mood improve. Your father was very rowdy, undisciplined, and quite a prankster. Your grandfather told him if your father didn't get his act together before he reached 18 he was going to put his nephew in charge. Your father asked me if I knew anything to help since we were friends. I told him of this martial arts dojo back on my island. He went there and they agreed to train him. The instructors are an old clan from far away. Very big on honor, respect, and discipline. Your mother was a student there, blue belt I think. She was best friends with the daughter of the Grandmaster. They fell in love and started courting and eventually got married. Your father did get to become black belt. Though Xianya could always beat him even on her bad days. Ha ha ha. When Martin returned he was a new man, focused, driven, dependable, and married. Though whether that was from your mother or the training we would never know. Watching her smile, Kaya straightened her shoulders like she made a decision. Mary, could you put me in contact with that dojo, or tell me where they are to go meet them? Sadly no, the dojo moved back home a little over 2 years ago. Before you ask, they did not leave a location to where they were from. Seeing her sadden, I tell her the good news. However, at your mother's funeral there was a young lady of about 19 years old that showed up. Seeing you unresponsive, she asked if we could sit down and talk. She told me she was the daughter of your mother's childhood friend from the dojo. She had become a high grandmaster in her clan, being a child protege who was practicing almost before she could walk. Actually the youngest to ever be trained, her grandfather said. It is required of all high grandmasters to train at least one, better if 2 grandmasters, before they are allowed to return to their homeland. She told she was training someone now that shocked her. It was only a year prior she started his training and she had to push herself hard to beat him without using hidden techniques. She said he was going to leave in a year, but she said if she pushed him hard he might even become a high grandmaster by then, earning the hidden techniques she knew, making him the youngest person ever trained she knew of. She then told she always felt that she owed Xianya a life debt because her mother and father wouldn't have gotten together if it wasn't for Xianya's meddling. Smiling at Kaya. I am sure that would at least get you a meeting with her. Though you will have to convince her of your motivation, character, and willingness not to abuse the knowledge shared. No debt will get her to give anyone that power. As Kaya was staring at the going Mary almost out of sight, she straightened her shoulders. How do I contact her? In a determined voice. Beaming with pride. I have a letter she left me. I believe it was a small town a few islands over. She was staying upstairs at an inn. No, in a tavern, yes. Working as a waitress for the owner named Marco, Manio, something like that, not sure? Anyway, it is in the letter. She also said she would leave a forwarding address with the owner if she moves on for me. I take great pride looking at Kaya, knowing that she will now go after what she wants in life just like Xianya did. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, subscribe to my channel for more fan fictions like this, and goodbye.